Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Matsu Valley as we get ready for another contest between the Anchorage Bucs and the Matsu Miners. I'm Sean Neef, and today I'm going to be alone solo broadcasting this one as my partner is in the room next to me PAing for the crowd here today at Hermon Brothers. It is a bit overcasted, as you can likely see, not a whole lot of sunshine in the area today. It's just clouds all around. We're having a meeting at home plate right now between coaches, and as we get ready for this contest, I can run you through the Miners starting lineup. Of course, on the bump to start today, as you'll see in the first inning, it's going to be Daniel Naughton. Infield from left to right, Casey Rother back at the hot corner, David Bermudez, of course, the heart of this defense, in the shortstop position. Holden Breeze uses his speed at second, and of course, the brick wall, Nick Sorelli at first. Behind the dish is going to be Tyler Rando, so he'll be framing it up for Naughton. Out in the outfield, we have Tyler Wilson in left, Patrick Donovan in center, and Aaron Walters in right field. Donovan, of course, has had two starts now for the Miners, one in non-league play and the other in league play, and is going to be looking to continually find his groove here right now. On the bump for the Bucs is going to be a new name, Spencer Bengard, usually a name that comes out of their bullpen, but instead he's getting the nod and he'll have the ball in his hands to start us off here. Of course, Bengard, one of their better arms and one of the lower ERAs of their entire Bucs roster, but so far of his 21 innings pitched, almost all of them have come as a swingman, or at least from the bullpen in closing position. First time seeing him start. Maybe a interesting offensive production from the beginning, but we're going to have to wait and see. Of course, we're also doing a moment of silence here tonight at Hermon Brothers for all of the Miner fans who have passed away in the past year, as a way to remember those and all of their support they've given the team over the years. Of course, today being the 20th of July, Miners inching closer to that magic number. Currently sits at 4. That means if the Miners win 2 games and the Chinooks lose 2 in second place, that's all it takes for the Miners to clinch a home field advantage for the playoffs, meaning that we're not going anywhere but Hermon Brothers Field. Today they'll be chasing win number 24, and we will be right back with the beginning of that action after we finish the national anthem and our moment of silence, so be sure to stick around. So the starting lineups have been announced, and now we've finished our national anthem. We're gonna have a moment of silence for the fans who have passed away in the last year. We ask everyone at home to join us in this moment of silence. Take off your caps and just contemplate for a moment as we remember these special people. Thank you very much for joining us for that. Miners and Bucs coming up next here, and that means Miners defending their home turf again. Of course, the Miners have been hot, 7 straight wins all over the place, but one fact for you fans at home, the Miners haven't lost a home game at Hermon Brothers Field since the 15th of June. You have to go back over a calendar month in order to see the last time there's a loss in the Hermon Brothers, as the team has just been absolutely electric all season. And we also get Bubba Walters hitting coach for the first pitch. Definitely looks like BP. That time just a bit off the plate for him. And I'm sure his son, Aaron Walters, behind the plate has a bit of critique for his father. But he's going to head into right field as we get ready to kick off this game. Miners been dominant in the series so far, but we do see some names return to the lineup tonight. Obviously, Woody Haydeen wasn't there last time these two teams faced off. The speedster, an absolute maniac on the bags, is going to be returning today at shortstop. Of course, for the Bucs, the first 3 up today are going to be Woody Haydeen, Jack Mactoff, their left fielder, and Cole Moore in the 3-hole. Cleanup behind him is going to be Diego Baquero, should we get to them, but for the first 3 batters, it is all Daniel Naughton. Naughton has been lights out so far for the Miners. Definitely one of the more talented pitchers in this staff who has potential to go 5 or more innings. Really keep the stress off of this bullpen. Naughton, of course, he's kind of used to his battery mate as well. The two go to Gonzaga together and have been together for multiple seasons, so this will be a chance for them to demonstrate the chemistry that they might have developed over that time. And we're going to see what the Pendleton, Oregon thrower can do on the mound. Right now, Haydeen ready in the standby circle, just waiting for Naughton to finish his warm-up pitches. And we're going to get ready to kick this one off. The only other game in the ABL so far today was set to be the Pilots versus the Peninsula Oilers. That game was actually rained out down in Kenai. Of course, we had some of our own experiences with rainouts, but that's just going to add on to the already hectic schedule in the remaining ABL season. First pitch, Daniel Naughton and Woody Haydeen. Who is going to set the tone here early? Naughton starts him out with a strike, so the best way any pitcher can start their night. Naughton, with his second pitch, is going to get a swing. This one put on the ground. Holden Breeze able to trap it against his body and throw over to first for a simple 4-3 ground out. There's one away already. And next up to the plate is going to be number 24, Jack Mactoff. Mactoff on the season has been their batting average champion ever since Ernie Yake has left the team for the draft. Yake, of course, did get drafted, so proved to be a worthwhile investment. Now Mactoff, the lone leader in batting average for the Bucs. And even the batting average king is starting off with a strike. Miners currently sitting at 23-8, trying to make it 24 today. So far this season, Mactoff, 29 hits, looking for number 30 to join only Jake Skipworth as Bucs players with 30 or more hits. Caught him fishing just a bit there. Naughton was actually up in the booth with me previously for the Anchorage Adult League versus Minors exhibition game. Gave some really good insight on some of the pitching analysis he could see from the booth. But one thing that's for sure is Daniel Naughton seems to do a little bit better pitching with a clean shave. Back to the absolute babyface look on the mound. And it proves worthwhile as he gets a second put away with a strikeout swinging that time. Next up for the Anchorage Bucs, it's going to be left-hander Cole Moore. Moore playing over at first today, and they're going to see what he can do with his first swings of the bat. Moore waiting on the first pitch and is going to let that one slip away, so close pitch but unable to get back there. Naughton would love to make it a 1-2-3 inning. The Miners offense has been extremely hot in early games, but this time they're going to be on the receiving end of it. That single is going to slip past Holden Breeze for the first hit of the ball game. Didn't waste much time getting on there with the single that slipped into the outfield. Next, that's going to bring up third baseman Diego Baquero. Miners going to be playing with a slightly different lineup today. Obviously have a lot of their hot bats in the lineup, but returning Sam Thompson and Patrick Donovan, two players who both got more playing time in the Anchorage Adult League exhibition game. Going to get a chance to see if they can carry over some of that momentum. An 0-1 count to Baquero already. Runner at first is Moore. Naughton a bit low that time, but unable to advance to second as Rando is able to keep the ball in front of him. All throughout the season, these Miners catchers have definitely shown their ability to throw out runners. The first few games, it seemed that they were able to be taken advantage of, but they've improved their timing, their connection with the middle infielders. Anything up the middle right now should be a playable ball, but you do see David Bermudez shaded awfully over towards third base. A 1-2 count. Diego Baquero backed against the wall. Naughton just looking to get through his first inning of work. And will do that not just yet. While it was a big swing and just able to make contact was Diego Baquero. Thought it looked like a swing and miss at first, but he was luckily able to just find a piece of it, and we'll run this one again. Now, Baquero waits on the next pitch. Here's another swing and another souvenir for the crowd. Foul play at Hermon Brothers is a fairly skinny area on both sides. Grass that leads to gravel right before the fence. So anything put into foul play has a limited space to go. Baquero one more time. He'll put this one on the ground to Bermudez, and it's going to be infielder to infielder. This time short to second, and the Miners able to get through this inning clean despite allowing just one hit. Miners able to roll through the first here, and coming up next, it's going to be their top of their lineup. Holden Breeze, Tyler Wilson, and Nick Sorelli. First three names up. Are they able to take the lead here early, or are we in for a bit of an early pitcher's duel? We'll have to stay tuned to find out as Spencer Bengard warms up on the mound. And we are back, ready for the bottom of the first. Bengard in his final few warm-up pitches. Miners taking their warm-up hacks on the side. It's going to be Holden Breeze to lead us off. Before that, we want to take a chance to give some special announcements. At Hermon Brothers, of course, there's no smoking or vapor cigarettes, tobacco in the ballpark. It is a smoke and tobacco-free area. There's also no going under or around the fence here at Hermon Brothers, as that would be considered trespassing onto Alaska Fair property. And of course, while you're here, remember to recycle. Now, leading us off is going to be number 1, second baseman Holden Breeze. Breeze, of course, part of that that put out to end the inning. Now going to be looking to get on base himself. Breeze has been hot since he joined the minors. A .462 batting average in his first few games means he's been getting on and often. Only able to foul away the first pitch, so make it 0-1. This one put on the ground towards the third baseman. Baquero's going to have to throw across the diamond. He gets there in time. So Baquero to Cole Moore, and there's the first out in the bottom of the first. Didn't waste much time, only 2 pitches, and now the second man up, number 44, left fielder Tyler Wilson. Wilson's also been helping himself lately. His batting number is only on the rise, as he's been batting a solid .400 over the last 2 weeks. It really seems that he can't help but turn the other balls away. Plenty of singles right up the chute, and with the space between short and second right now, wouldn't be surprised if that's where Wilson tried to put this. Can't seem to make any contact there. 0-2 on the off-speed pitch. Wilson, in the third pitch of this at-bat, is going to get some contact. It looks like a blooper, but it's only going to go foul. Maybe 10 feet or more to the left of the third base line, so we'll have to do this one again. Already saw a 6-3 ground out, and Tyler Wilson is fighting off, becoming the second out. His second foul ball now. Standing behind Tyler Wilson is, of course, the first baseman, Nick Sorelli, as he stands in the on-deck circle, but all he can do is watch on as Wilson tries to stay alive for another pitch. Wilson and Bengard facing off still, as this one's going to go on the hand. So now 2 straight balls. Tyler Wilson evening it up at 2-2. The Miners staying in action tomorrow, non-league though. Here at Hermon Brothers, they'll be taking on the Piedmont Pride Baseball. So we'll have some visitors out of town to come back, as Tyler Wilson sends this one out of the infield in for a single. So the 1-out hit keeps the inning alive and starts to add some pressure on the Bengard. Nick Sorelli, of course a fan favorite of the Miners here, gets his cheers as he walks up to the plate. Sorelli has still dominated here throughout the month of July, holding on to the 4th highest batting average on the Miners. Of course, 2 people above him, Holden Breeze and Patrick Donovan, have a much smaller sample size, so it's just a testament to what Sorelli's been able to do. This one is recorded for a strike, make it 1-1. Bottom of the first here, we do have 1 on and 1 away. Nick Sorelli at the plate. Plenty of power sitting in that bat, and this one is going to be lifted into left field, but that's going to be a fly out and the second out of the inning. Jack Mactoff barely had to make a few steps in front of him. Now coming up for the Miners, number 48, it is the third baseman, Casey Rother. Rother, another one of the more consistent offensive threats for the Miners. Still holds a batting average over 300. Getting on base right now is his priority. First pitch is low and away, so ball one. Rother also been able to work a few walks so far this year. 10 to his name, but he's more one to instinctually follow the pitch. He seems to be able to guess where the pitcher's going better than they know most of the time. Right now, a 1-0 pitch to Casey Rother. And this one is high, not necessarily a pitch out, but it was enough to hit the strike zone and step up the catcher. Standing at first is Tyler Wilson. Casey Rother at the plate looking to drive him forward. This one right near the hands, still a strike. Casey Rother backed out to double check, but call stands 1-2. Back to the no batting gloves for Rother as well. Put a few on for the exhibition game. Just didn't quite look right. Now he seems to be back to his old self. See if he's able to create some similar contact as well. I want to remind everyone that there's also wheelbarrow of booze raffle tickets and a 2019 championship quilt available in the beer shack. So in case you come by Hermon Brothers anytime soon, be sure to enter in any contest, take your raffle tickets, and try and take home the big prizes. Another check over at first means that we're still sitting in a 1-2. Tyler Wilson goes, but no hit and run attempt this time, as all he's able to do is send it to the back screen. Miners looking to extend this first inning. They seem to cluster a lot of their offense together. When they're scoring and hitting well, there's going to be 3 innings of pure offensive domination, but so far they've unable to stretch that into full games, as this one's put into right field, and running over is Carson Rocaforte to make that final out. So the first inning comes and goes, still no score on either side, but both sides do manage to get a hit. Right now it seems like the brewings of a close game, but we're going to see which offense is ready to wake up first. Back into the field goes the Miners, and we'll be right back after a short break with some more action. Be sure to not go anywhere. Carson Rocafort, the first one to the plate here in the top of the second. And he's wasting no time turning this one into the alley. This one's going to get down for extra bases as he's turning towards second. The relay, not in time. It was a good job to get the ball back into play, but one pitch is all it took Carson Rocafort to put the ball in play. Now it's going to be Jake Skipworth, number 24 and designated hitter for today's game, to the plate. Now has a runner back in scoring position, so pressure early here for Daniel Naughton. Skipworth is waiting the first pitch as Naughton's taking his time, keeping an eye on Rocafort. This one just able to get away for ball one. Skipworth on the year has not struggled by any means, still a 248 batting average, but also has those 25 strikeouts. 25 strikeouts to 14 walks, so you could definitely say he's more aggressive than patient. Skipworth now waiting for the second pitch. Anything away would also advance the runner to third. Backstop deep here at Hermon Brothers. This one just fouled away. Right now, both sides seemingly moving at their own pace. Nobody's really trying to rush anything. Besides Carson Rocafort being that aggressive on the first pitch of this inning, everything seems to be moving in slow motion. Works for Daniel Naughton, though. He's found his flow. That breaking ball makes it strike two. Naughton so far this year has been one of the most pitched minors. He's had to pitch 22 in a 2/3 inning. In that time, he's minimized hits to just over one an inning as this one gets through, and that might be our first score of the game. It will. No chance at home, and we have the tie game broken on an RBI single, this time coming from Jake Skipworth. So wasting no time here. All it took, two batters to drive the run in. Now the Miners trail. Still looking for that first out, as Xavier Pinales is the next one to come in for the Bucs. Pinales would love to keep this inning going as 7, 8, 9 still due up and none away. This time just shuffling back to the plate is Skipworth. Still early here, top of the second, but a 1-0 ball game on the side of Anchorage. This one turning to left field is dropping, and it's going to get down, so another base hit. Skipworth hesitated a second at first, but not enough to throw him out at second. No force play there, and still none away. Daniel Naughton on the receiving end of a 3-hit streak from the Bucs. Runner back in scoring position as well. As Kyson Donahue, second baseman in today's game, is going to be the next one up for the Bucs. Donahue waiting in the left-handed batter's box. See if he can get on something early here as well. Donahue from Honolulu, Hawaii, goes to the University of Arizona. Been all over and now looking for some revenge against the Miners. Each game that he's played with the Bucs in their starting 9 has been on the losing end against the Miners. This time he squares up, but can't hold it there very long. Pulls it back for ball 2. Nick Sorelli was ready for it, ran over from first to try and take away any kind of advance. Regardless, it's still 2-0. Lucky break there from Daniel Naughton. That one could have gone either way, but 2-1 is a whole lot easier to manage than 3-0. Still has some room for error. Naughton has 2 on and none away. Another square, and this one's going foul, so there'll be your second strike and a 2-2 count. Naughton hasn't necessarily walked that many batters for the Miners so far this season. 11 walks on, or 8 walks on the year. He's done a solid job of minimizing any self-damage, and right now trying to keep it a favorable pitcher's count. Can't keep this one in though, so 3-2. Something's got to give for the full count. If you're Daniel Naughton, you'd love to get a strikeout here. Double play ball also in effect. Defense just needs to catch a break. Gonna have to keep searching for that put away pitch. Naughton and Donahue ready for a continued battle now. Both sides refusing to give in. Naughton tries to go for the fastball, and it slips right past Donahue. There's a big punch out. Took it looking, and thanks to that, the Miners finally have one away here in the second. Next to the plate for the Bucs, it's going to be center fielder Garrett Ostrander. Ostrander, another one of the Bucs that we've seen since the beginning of the year, the Rancho Bernardo, California native, has not found too much batting success against the Miners. So far, only a handful of hits against the Gold and Green up to this point in the season. And right now, he represents a big out in the second inning. If Miners get a double play here or just simply take one out, it would likely minimize damages to just the one run. This one lifted again, so another foul ball. And now we have an 0-2 count. Naughton and Rando right now is showing a lot of unspoken communication. Obviously, no visits to the mound so far. Despite giving up 3 hits in the inning, both of them still seem to be on the same page. This one is turned on. Looks like it's staying fair, and that one's gonna get down. So another single, another bloop single, I should say, as this one falls into right field in another 2-strike count. So bases loaded. Coming up to the plate, Woody Hayden, the shortstop, with a big pivotal at bat. This could turn the tide of the game early and make it an uphill battle for the Miners the remainder of the game if he's able to turn something here. His first at-bat was a 4-3 ground out. Something like that could likely at least drive in a run going to the right side of the infield. Now Naughton and Rando have had their meeting. They seem ready to go forward in this one. Wouldn't be surprised to see him attacking low in the zone this time around. Generating any kind of ground ball could go a long way. This one put down. There's one at second. Not going to even try to turn for 2 as it took too long for the transfer. One run comes across at the expense of an out, and now we have runners at the corners. Now up for the Bucs. Jack Mactoff still trying to hold on to this inning. Yes, Pinales at third. Haydeen at first, as Haydeen is being forced to move around out there. Still 2-0 here in the top of the first. But the Miners aren't out of this inning just yet. Naughton still working with runners to the corners as Haydeen goes for second. Can he get picked off? He will not. Throw looked like it was there in time. Unable to turn around for the tag. Tough break there as it could have gotten him out of a jam. Now they have to go back to 1-0 with both runners in scoring position now. That was a nice heads-up play by Haydeen. Now no chance for the simple ground out. Staring at a 1-1 count now. Mactoff would love to be able to add another RBI to the year as well, as this one sent right to center field, sending back Donovan. Didn't have to track back too far though. This one finally records the third out. Miners did give up 2 runs in the inning, but avoid even further pain. It seemed that nothing could really fall their way, just the case of some lucky bats and some lucky drops. A lot of bloop field singles all over the field. Now the Miners have to work their way back from a 2-run deficit early in this one. Heart of the Miners lineup going to be coming up next. It's going to be Randos, Walters, and Thompson. See if their middle and bottom of their lineup can generate any offense in response. We'll be right back here at Hermon Brothers Field. Be sure to not go anywhere. We are at the bottom of the second, and leading off the Miners is going to be catcher from Gonzaga, Tyler Rando. Rando has been extremely hot within the last week. Had a performance against the Pilots, go for 3 hits. He would love to emulate that here again today. He's going to take a ball on the first pitch. So far, the only damage the Miners have done was the single by Tyler Wilson. Nothing to come of it. Rando looking to help out his pitcher just a little bit early. And we'll turn on this one, turning it back into left field. He's still running back as Mactoff, and he's not going to get there. That one's going to get down. An extra base hit for Tyler Rando is exactly what the Miners were looking for. Getting him on early and now in scoring position. So Rando did his job. Next up for the Miners is going to be Aaron Walters. The Angelo State slugger is going to be looking to make it a baton twirl, passing it off to Sam Thompson behind him. But first, he has to advance Tyler Rando. Walters, over the season, has proven to be a big part of this lineup. Gets on plenty himself. But the greatest thing for Walters is his ability to drive in runs. 17 hits has resulted in 6 RBIs. This could be 7 if he's able to get down. That one's going back further. Center field, he jumps up on the wall, but he's unable to get there. So Walters isn't going to turn for 3, but the run from second is going to come across the plate. Runners trade places, and despite the effort from Garrett Ostrander in center field, that one's going to get down. Wasted 0 time, taking the first pitch he saw all the way back for a deep double. Miners take 2 hits to put 1 run back on the board. Now it's Sam Thompson's turn as they take some looks over at Garrett Ostrander. Tried to climb that wall in center field with cleats on. Obviously could result in a bit of ankle twisting or any kind of muscle damage out there. Trainers are called off though by the coach for the Bucs. Looks like he's just taking a bit of personal examination of Ostrander. And it seems likely they'll keep him in the game as he's headed back to his post in center. Game's going to continue, but after Walter's deep shot, that is his 7th RBI in the first run of the game for the Miners. Aaron Walters' early heroics here has made it a 1-run game. A possibility for Sam Thompson here to tie it up should he do the same. Now this one outside, so Thompson not going to make the same mistake twice. Lays off for a ball. This one put on the ground again. No ground ball with eyes to get by the defense, but enough to advance Walters to third. So Sam Thompson, sacrifice hit there as he becomes the first out, and Walters is now only 90 feet away from tying this game up. Miners have wasted no time responding, and it's up to Patrick Donovan to record his first RBI as a Miner. So far, only 1 hit with the Miners. Number 2 could come in a major spot. Donovan looking at another pitch, takes the swing, but no good, and we'll run it for another pitch. In the on-deck circle is shortstop David Bermudez. But Donovan has the pivotal at-bat. Still only 1 out in the inning. Looking to drive home Walters. Donovan turns this one. Should be deep enough for a sac fly at least. Ostrander is under it, and despite the throw, it is not going to make it in time. The game is tied. Thanks to a sac fly from Patrick Donovan, his first RBI as a Miner makes it a tie ball game. So now we've at least tied the game. David Bermudez is going to decide where the Miners go from here. This one far and away. No real offer that time. And this one's going foul. So waited on the call. Now called for strike number 1, a 1-1 count. Bermuda's in a 1-1 count. Is going to take a big swing here, but that one's going to have a lot more vertical distance than horizontal. Make it a 1-2 now. And there's a big swing, and that's strike 3. Strike 3 to end the second, but both offenses showing some fire here early. Bucs 5 hits, 2 runs. Miners only 3, but the same score. Wasted 0 time putting together a retaliation to the early scoring here. And we're going to have to wait to see which offense is going to start to pull away. As we're getting ready to head into the third inning, Naughton back on the mound. We're going to have to wait to see how he handles himself in the third. Be sure to not go anywhere, as we'll be right back after a short break. We are ready to start the third, and Cole Moore is ready to take his second at-bat of the game. Moore so far started off the hitting parade on both sides, getting the first single of the game. The Alaska Railroad would like to remind our friends and neighbors, wherever you see railroad tracks, always expect a train. Stay safe around trains and tracks. Look, listen, and live. As he looked as that first pitch went past, but did come down as a strike. Naughton to get even in this at-bat is gonna have to keep playing with his food as this one's laid off. Curveball started to get offered at by Moore, but able to hold himself back. And this one is gonna make everybody move out of the way. Rando unable to get to that one in time, and home plate umpire was not going to be the one to take the brunt of that pitch. So Moore still looking at a 2-1. And after facing 7 batters in the previous inning, Daniel Naughton is looking to make this one much quicker. He's going to have to keep working for it, as now the count stands at 3-1. Naughton going to have to make a great pitch here. And it's good enough to get a swing and foul ball. Another full count for Daniel Naughton. We'd also like to thank Mugshot Saloon, Palmer Bar, and Panhandle Bar and Tudor Bingo. They're your official sponsors of the Mat-Su Miners pull tabs and gaming license usage. And the Nuggets Booster Club, a gaming sponsor of Big Valley Bingo. Naughton in a full count right now with Cole Moore. First baseman versus pitcher. And this one's going to be tapped down to third base. Casey Rother not going to try and make the throw over to first. And nothing seems to be going the way of Daniel Naughton right now. Bloopers getting down, infield dribblers, any way they can. The Bucs are applying pressure. It'll be their sixth hit of the game through only 2 innings and still no outs. That is going to prompt skipper Ty LeBrun to come out and check on his pitcher, but we do have nobody warming up in the bullpen just yet. No time to panic or pull the pitcher. He's probably just giving him some piece of advice. Vaquero, the third baseman, is going to be the next one up into the box for the Bucs. Vaquero grounded out to the third baseman last time up, so maybe skipper Ty LeBrun saw something in his swing. They may be able to induce a ground ball. Vaquero is the one in the box. Standing on deck is Carson Rocafort, who had the double that began that big second inning. As right now, Daniel Naughton is looking to reclaim the zone. This one low again, and low enough, it bounced off Rando's foot to get away from him and advance the runner to second. That one likely to be scored as a wild pitch, enough to advance Moore to second, the furthest he's been so far today. And now a real chance to walk the next batter. Diego Vaquero already looking at a 3-0 count. There's the first strike. Vaquero, not somebody that generally waits even when he knows where the pitch is going and he's in a favorable count. He likes to try and generate some kind of offense, especially with a runner in scoring position, but no offer at that fourth pitch. This one is skied over to Bermudez, who throws to Sorelli at first and record the first out. Miners unable to prevent the run from advancing over, but now looking at a 1-out scenario. Carson Rocafort, of course, had that big double and scored in the first at-bat he had today. Another double here would more than score the run, standing at third. But no same success on the first pitch here. This time only a strike. Rocafort not going to swing low. And Rando just able to find the ball and keep Moore at third. Another wild pitch would be disastrous at this point. Rocafort coming into today only had 3 extra base hits on the season, so now 1 of 4 in today's game. See if he's in for a big batting night. Gonna lay off on this one. So 3 straight balls after the initial strike. Carson Rocafort maybe looking at the pillow at first. But this one is turned on, sent into center field. And Patrick Donovan is going to have to make some kind of miracle throw as this one gets to the catcher on 2 bounces, but not in time. Bucs score in back-to-back innings on a sac fly and make the score 3-2. So now no one sitting on the bases. Jake Skipworth comes up to a clean slate. Plenty of scoring so far here early. Previous game between these two teams, Miners were able to jump out to the early lead and hold on to that for the remainder of the game. This time, they're the ones playing chase-up. As this ball's put on the ground, and fair! That one stayed on the line. Watched it for too long, thinking it might go foul, and Casey Rother was unable to make the dart throw across the diamond in time. Jake Skipworth just believed that it would stay fair for long enough that it got him to first, and that's the 7th hit of the ball game. So far, 7 hits in only 2 2/3 inning pitch for Daniel Naughton. But still a close ball game, only a 1-run game. And once again, he'll have to face off against catcher Xavier Pinales. Pinales got one of those 2 blooper singles, his into left field. As this one once again gets away from Rando, slipping through his legs, and that's going to be another chance for the runner to advance. Stolen bases are coming easy and often just because of how often the ball seems to be getting away from him, and he's going to have another meeting with his pitcher. Something just doesn't seem to be clicking between the two, and I'm sure Rando's letting him know. So he said his word. He's ready to return behind the dish and get back to work, as they still have to record the final out of this inning. Two Zag teammates ready to try and go back to work, and they do just that with a strike, that time on the slider from Daniel Naughton. Naughton trying to work through Pinales. This time was able to tempt him with a pitch on the inside. Two away here in the top of the third, and Naughton looking to navigate his way through some more damage, as this one's just going to spring over David Bermudez' head. Nothing he could do there. Unless he had moon shoes, that one was not going to be catchable, and now we have a 4-2 ball game. Pinales with his 2nd hit of the game, first one for an RBI. Now back up for his 2nd at-bat, Kyson Donahue. See if he's able to keep this big inning going, or if the Miners can finally catch a break and head back to the batter's box. Waiting on the first pitch, he goes. And he's there. Throw to the opposite side of the plate. Drew Bermudez far enough away. And now Pinales has a stolen base. Make that their 3rd advance in this inning, as this team is having no problem moving on the base path today. It's going to take an offensive explosion for the Miners to stay in this one early. Donahue turns on this one as well, and it looks like they'll finally be able to escape on that can of corn right over to left field. Tyler Wilson is there to collect it. Miners unable to do anything before allowing 2 to come across on 3 hits. And Daniel Naughton, rough start in this one, but day is not over yet. Miners going to be heading back to the batter's box when we get back in the bottom of the 3rd. So be sure you don't go anywhere, as we may have a back and forth ball game ahead of us. the lineup turns over here in the bottom of the third as Holden Breeze is going to lead us off here in the third. Miners going to be looking to claw back in this one as they've had 2 straight innings of 2 runs allowed. The defense is facing a barrage of singles in this one, and it's going to take a strong performance from the Miners offense to respond. Breeze has been able to get on in an assortment of ways so far this year. They're going to need him to get on early and start applying pressure, but an 0-1 count doesn't trend in the right direction, and neither does an 0-2. Breeze been able to get on base about 50% of the times in the last week, but not here today. This time taking that one looking a beautiful breaking ball and no offer. Just froze him at the plate. It's going to have to come into the hands of Tyler Wilson, who recorded a single in his first at-bat. Would love to become a multi-hit game right now. Already seen Moore and Pinales add 2 singles of their own. See if Wilson's able to respond to the bill. This one, another strike, so starting off with 4 straight strikes is Spencer Bengard. Wilson cracks another one. This one able to be gloved by the shortstop, but it pulled him off the bag when he jumped. That one was going to be a tough play regardless, but the jump from Cole Moore over at first pulled him off enough for Tyler Wilson to get on and record his second hit of the ballgame. So now, Nick Sorelli going to be a big at-bat here. A chance to continue this inning along and get into the heart of the lineup with only 1 out. Sorelli has been the on-base king so far in the year for the Miners. They're going to need him to be lights out right now. As Wilson started to go, but stopped himself. Didn't see any signal telling him to head back, just didn't like the fastball. Now Nick Sorelli, staring at an 0-1, trying to avoid making an 0-2. But that's exactly what it becomes, another low breaking ball, makes Sorelli swing in the dirt. So Sorelli in an 0-2 count as Wilson gets picked off. That hesitation for just a second was all the time Bengard needed to sling it over to Cole Moore, and that is a tough out for the Miners. Obviously knew he was going to be a bit aggressive on the bases, seeing him take off on the first pitch just to return. Gave away his game plan, and now the Miners have nothing on. We want to thank a sponsor of the 2021 Mat-Su Miner baseball team, the Pacific Northwest Regional Council of Carpenters and Carpenters Union, number 1281. So finally gets a ball there, and that could feel like a major victory at this point for a team that has been on the other side of a strike attack from Spencer Bengard. This one shot right back up the chute. Sorelli's going to run, but not get there in time. Beat out by a couple of feet. A sideways way to get to a 1-2-3 inning, but the Miners didn't have a response here in the bottom of the third. They're going to head into the top of the fourth. Daniel Naughton's going to get more chances on the mound. They do have some arms warming up in the bullpen, but they have full faith in this Zag. We'll be right back with the 4th inning of action, so be sure you don't miss anything and stay right here. So now the Bucs back to the plate as Garrett Ostrander, center fielder, going to be leading them off. Ostrander had a single so far and also had the play out in center field during Walter's double that had him being looked at by a trainers for just a bit. Seems good enough to stay in this game and puts it over into foul ground for Nick Sorelli to record the first foul out. Big out there for the Miners as they are able to finally start the inning off on the right foot. This one taken low, so there's a ball here. Naughton has allowed 8 hits in the game so far today, but a clean fourth would be on the right track of keeping this team close. Can't afford to give up any more runs here and there, even if they just come in singles. The Miners, while they've rallied so far this season, hasn't had to come up with a big comeback in over a month now. The greatest comeback they had on the season was against these Bucs in the third game of the year, but haven't been able to string together 6 runs or more since then. So a strikeout swinging sets up Jack Mactoff for his third at-bat. 0 for 2 so far on the day. He and Woody Hayden in the leadoff roles have been 2 of the few Bucs to not get involved with the offense here early. And it's going to stay that way as that was a line drive right to second baseman Holden Breeze. Miners finally record a 1-2-3 for the first time in this game. Daniel Naughton looked perfect in that one. Let his field do the work, and the Miners were able to keep the damage to nothing. They'll still be staring at a 2-run deficit as we head into the bottom of the fourth, but have the heart of their lineup coming up. Part of the lineup that was able to generate 2 runs in the second. We'll be able to see if they can do the same here. Be sure to stay tuned and don't miss any more here from Hermon Brothers Field, as we'll be right back after a short break. Now up for your Matsu Miners, it's going to be third baseman Casey Rother, taking his hacks here again after flying out to the right field, first time up. Rother been another one of the consistent on-base threats for the Miners this season. This last week, he's been able to get on about 30% of the time, and that's been considered a bit of a slow patch for his season of production, so he's been a consistent force throughout this lineup. Rother waiting on the next pitch, and just able to foul this one away, so Spencer Bengard continues to attack the bottom of the zone. That's where he's recorded most of his strikeouts, especially on that curveball. Rother turns into another one, but this one's heading into foul ground, and that's going to become part of a bleacher set. Got a crowd of kids going to chase the ball, but it seems like some lucky kid's already been the winner. Now we head back to the real game as Casey Rother is still staring down a 1-2 count. And that one's going to be just roped right past him. Woody Hayden was flying back, but the shortstop just couldn't extend far enough. And that's going to be a single to lead off the Miners here in the bottom of the fourth. Perfect position for Tyler Rando to come back to the plate after a double in his first plate appearance. Got that second inning started and later came around to score part of the 2 Miners runs so far. And he really seems to perform well against these Bucs. That one taken for a strike on the inside. So Rando at the plate, standing behind him, Aaron Walters, and in the hole right now is Sam Thompson. All 3 of them great threats for this Miners offense to juice themselves back into this game. Rando, so far this season, has 16 RBIs, one of the highest totals on the team. But he would love to close in on that number 20. He would be the first Miner to eclipse 16, and it's going to become an easier task now as ball 3 gets away and advances Casey Rother to second. So the wild pitch sets up a scoring possibility for the Miners. We'll see if Rando is able to turn on another ball and keep this great game he already has going. So far, Tyler Wilson already has 2 hits in the game. Rando would be the second Miner to do so. Just going to send this one to the back screen. So make it a full count, 3-2. Rando right now, the weight of his team on him, looking to keep this game competitive. And this one is going to be turned. It's going to head towards right field. A little shallow, but able to get under it and put him away as Carson Rocafort didn't have to waste much energy there. Now, Aaron Walters going to be heading back to the plate. Walters also had a double so far. We're going to see if the Kerrville, Texas native has another extra base hit in his back pocket. As he does show that he'll make contact enough to send this one sky high, but that's not going to go very far, and it's going to be put away for an easy pop out. And now the leadoff hit has suddenly become a threat to be left on base. It's going to come down to Sam Thompson to keep the inning alive and make this game a closer contest. This one's a bit outside, so no offer from Thompson. The Kent State Golden Flash has had a interesting experience over the past few games. Last time for the Anchorage Adult League game that he played all 9 positions, also recorded a home run, and he would have loved to have that one be a home run instead of that. A weak line drive, and there's your third out. Miners unable to put anything together with the leadoff single from Casey Rother. Instead, they leave a man on base and go down 1-2-3 after the hit. Miners are going to have to start putting together some back-to-back hits, 2 or 3 hits at the least. This team can't survive on just one person performing here and there. Instead, they're going to have to get back into this one the slow and old-fashioned way, starting with their great pitching. Daniel Naughton's going to have to look to do the same that he did in the fourth, as as we get ready for the 5th inning of work. So be sure you stay here, and we'll be right back with the 5th inning of ABL action. So it's going to be Cole Moore here as we get ready for the top of the 5th. Miners still trailing in this one thanks to an early hitting display from the Bucs. 8 hits in only 3 innings, as the 4th inning was all Daniel Naughton. Naughton now looking at a 2-0 count. Make that a 3-0 count. So after a clean 4th inning from Daniel Naughton, he is already threatening to walk the first batter here in the 5th. Doesn't do it just yet. Instead, able to get back into the zone. Cole Moore been a true threat with the bat in his hand so far. 2 singles, one of which he came around to become the 3rd run of the game. And he'll be back on, so his threat continues to loom in this one. Still hasn't been put away. And Diego Vaquero going to be the next one up. Vaquero already recorded 2 outs in this game, having the exact opposite day of Cole Moore in front of him. And it looks like it's going to continue to be tough contact for Vaquero, making a foul ball there. We have a arm warming up in the bullpen. Looks like it may be lefty Lance Santerre. So it could cause some matchup favorability. Naughton gets a big swing there. Completely off his time was Diego Vaquero, as Naughton's curveball just had no sight for him. Diego Vaquero from Loyola Marymount looking to avoid being put away on strikes. Vaquero so far this year batting at 275, only behind that of Jack Mactoff, but in this game so far has not created any kind of help for his offense. So everybody is reset. We have Cole Moore at first, Diego Vaquero at the plate. Carson Rocafort stands in the on-deck circle. This one's going to get inside. Rando, a nice job to follow it. Looks like we have a lot of young fans in the crowd today, especially. It's a lot of families showing out to Hermon Brothers. As you see people playing catch along the outside, it doesn't matter that it's not as sunny as it's been all week. People are still coming out for baseball. And once again, it's a high pitch, so Daniel Naughton back at a full count after getting ahead 0-2. Another foul ball means this at-bat's going to keep going. 7 pitches so far. Next up will be pitch number 8, as Naughton's day has already dragged on. We've seen him go 5 or 6 innings so far, but through 4, he's already been feasted on quite a bit. It's a big swing there. Vaqueros just lucky the ball stayed near him. Likely could have gotten him with a high fastball, but Vaqueros stays alive. Another pitch coming, number 9. So it looks like they're going to give him a new ball as well. See if that helps with his grip. So he's got to be on point in a 3-2 count. Definitely been the longest at-bat of the day from either side. This one getting ready to go into its 9th pitch. And the 9th pitch is the one to do it. Rando couldn't find the ball initially, had to look behind him. Luckily, no advance from Cole Moore at first. So a strikeout swinging after 9 pitches, and the extended battle ends up going for a win for Daniel Naughton. That may be the last out he gets to win. Another infield meeting now as skipper Ty LeBrun emerges from the dugout to have a meeting with everyone on the infield. And they've made the decision. Daniel Naughton is retired for the day. Naughton finishes his day with 3 strikeouts, 8 hits allowed, and 4 runs allowed, as the Miners are in an early slugfest here. And coming in is going to be Lance Santerre. Santerre was initially in a starting role for the Miners at the beginning of the season, but he's found a spot from the bullpen. We'll see if the relief pitcher is able to get out of the inning and give some new life to this team, as they're already facing a 2-run deficit. He's definitely coming in with some game plans, though. Especially, you can see shortstop David Bermudez and Tyler Rando staying extra long in the huddle. They're likely going to be planning something out here. But we'll be right back after Lance is done with his warm-up pitches to see what he can do and finish off this inning. So Daniel Naughton's day is done here at Hermon Brothers. He turns in 4.1 innings and 3 strikeouts, but Miner's still trailing when he heads off the bump. Instead, it's Lance Santerre now. Santerre starts his outing with a strike, and he'll be facing off against Carson Rocafort, so a tough first batter. Already went for a double in this game. This one's going to skip away, so first pitch looked good. Second one spiked into the dirt. Now a wild pitch advances Cole Moore. The lefty is going to add a real different dynamic for left-handed Rocaforte, who seemed to have some success against Naughton. Now Rocafort seems to be seeing that across breaking ball well. It's breaking from the right side of the zone to the left, but he's remained unfazed. And now we're staring at a 2-1. Another swing means that's a foul ball and a 2-2 count. Looking for his first out today, Santerre staring at a 2-2. And this one's turned again, so Rocafort is getting into another ball, and this one is going to get down despite the best efforts. And now it's going to be a relay to the plate, but he's safe. Just barely beats that one out. Cole Moore able to get past the relay and score the 5th run of the game for the Bucs. So they're continually bringing runs across the plate and not leaving a whole lot of men on, making it tough for the Miners. Another double on the day for Carson Rocafort means he's now added 40% of his extra base hits on the season in this game. Still only one out here, as Santerre inherited a tight situation, and it's become worse here. Jake Skipworth not going to offer at that pitch either, so 2-0. Santerre is just looking to get some kind of offer. A flyout would work great here. Just something to record that second out and get them closer to escaping the 5th. Finally gets a first strike on that foul ball. See if he's able to use that and head towards the right direction. Santerre again. This one, could it be another blooper? It is. The Bucs are just diming them across the entire field today. Another hit. That's going to put them in double digits for the ball game. That'll be their 10th hit of the game, and we're only through 5 innings. Rocafort decided to not chance it from third, so now we have runners at the corners, still only one out. And next up to the plate is catcher Xavier Pinales. Pinales, switch hitter, mixing it up now here for the lefty. First time in the left-handed batter's box, or the right-handed batter's box. See if he's more aggressive from one side. Most switch hitters do have a side that they typically prefer to use for power. Let's see if Pinales is going to try and push it from the right side. pitch high and away. Nice job there by Rando, just simply just grab the ball. This one once again sent backwards, so another foul ball. Sun's starting to try and peek through, but still not really coming through. The overcast continues as nobody really seems like they know what to wear today either. You see jeans in the crowd, sweatpants, shorts, some people wearing t-shirts. It's just a whole bunch of stuff right now. Santerre in a huge pitch here. Still hasn't been able to record an out since he's entered the game. Being able to avoid another RBI situation here. But this one's going to be turned on again. The hitting clinic continues as the Bucs can't miss right now. Pinales records his third single of the game on another RBI, and the score finally moves to 6-2. Miners on the wrong end of an offensive explosion at the moment. And next up, Kyson Donahue. Donahue, so far 2 outs in the game. Santerre would love to continue that trend. The Miners still looking for their second out here in the inning. It's 3 straight hits from Rocafort, Skipworth, and Pinales has led to another run. 2 already coming across in the inning. Santerre, once again, the Delta Community College product is looking for some help. As this pitch nearly gets away from Rando, so is able to get some help from his catcher, at least keeping the runners where they're at. So Donahue in a 2-1. See if he's going to get aggressive in a hitter's count. Does just that. Doesn't make any contact though, and now we have a 2-2. We want to thank the sponsor of the 2021 Matsu Miners Summer Clinic, the Alaska USA Federal Credit Union. Video for the clinic coming soon to highlight some of the major spots we had this past week. And plenty of different age groups coming here at Hermon Brothers, going through some basic skills with the players, and a lot of them definitely left with some happy memories. So be sure to check out the Miners YouTube, and we'll have that one up soon. In the meantime, the Miners still stuck in this jam. 3-2 with a chance to get the second out, but instead ends up walking him again. That walk is going to juice the bases as the Miners can't seem to get out of the fifth.
Stepping to the plate for the Bucs, 5 centimeter,
Garrett Ostrander heading back up to the box for the 3rd time today, and he'll represent the 7th batter faced in the 5th. Still only 1 out, that coming on the strikeout from Diego Vaquero, which was Daniel Naughton's last batter faced. Since Lance Santerre has entered the game, it's been 3 hits and a walk. Just looking for a sign of life right now. Santerre's been greeted with a pretty rude awakening from the bullpen. Just looking to find his footing out there. That one gets away, so 1-1. Bases still loaded, nowhere to put any runners. A walk would mean another run. Game that's already 6-0. Miners can't afford to give up any more runs. That one is a strike, so Santerre puts himself in a pretty good spot. We'll see if he's able to get himself out of this inning after getting through a batter. So Santerre once again gets the strikeout, had him all sorts of twisted up. That time looked like it was going to be a two-seamer on the inside. Started to back him out of the box, and Ostrander is going to have to keep walking as he heads back to the base. Woody Hayden, another switch hitter for this Bucs lineup, has been in the left-handed batter's box for the first 3 plate appearances he's had today. Now Hayden standing in the right-handed box with the bases loaded. Represents the final potential out here in the 5th. So he's likely going to be trying to put whatever he has pitched to him in play. There's a beautiful breaking ball. Thought he would try and wait on it and see if he could work himself ahead in the count. Now instead he's backed against a wall. 0-2. Has to get protective here, even though the bases are loaded. A strikeout would end the jam. A ground out might do the same as it gets to Holden Breeze, who's unable to glove it on the charge. That's going to allow another run to come across, and errors are breaking the backs of the Miners.
Up to the plate now for the Bucs, left fielder 24, Jack Mactoff.
This will be the 9th batter of the inning. Jack Mactoff steps up for his 4th at-bat of the game in only 5 innings, as the Miners are just looking to escape this inning. Pitch on the outside is going to be ball 1. Bases loaded make any kind of mistake lethal, as that error, which offered a chance to escape with only 2 runs, now makes it a 7-2 ball game. And this one might get down again. Another base hit means 2 runs are coming across. The throw to third is not going to get it out. Hayden slides in safely, and this game is slipping away from the Miners. Now Cole Moore started this whole inning with a walk. Here we are 10 batters later. He's still out there. Different pitcher this time around, as Santerre has been greeted with a rally of bats from the Bucs. Now it'll be Cole Moore trying to be on for the 4th time today. Santerre no longer has the bases loaded for once. Runners at the corners still, as Haydeen has plenty of speed at third. This one turned the other way once again. It's going to get down in the gap. Walters just now getting to the ball as he's still being held on from third. A bit of a catastrophe. Both runners come across on the 2 RBI double from Cole Moore. I don't think the Bucs offense has looked this explosive all season, as they are just laying on a barrage right now. No surprise that this prompts another visit to the mound. We've been through 10 so far in this inning. 7 runs have come across and still only 2 outs. Talk about a disaster scenario right now for the Miners. Now they have 1 man on with the 2-out threat, as they're going to be looking for any kind of life. The 2-2 match has slowly become 11-2, as one offense has woken up, and the Miners are going to have to do the same in order to make this competitive. Diego Vaquero, one of only 2 Bucs hitters to actually turn into an out in this inning. Both have come on strikeouts, as any time the Bucs have put barrel to ball, it seems to get down in this one. This one taken low. Vaquero maybe trying to alter his approach at the plate. Being aggressive hasn't landed him on base, so this time sitting back, engaging a few pitches. Vaquero staring at a 2-0 count already. And there's a swing. Catching a break finally, as the Miners do have more arms warming up. Seems like it's going to be a long bullpen day at the rate that these arms are going. This one low again, 3-1. Vaquero looking to get on for her first time today. Also want to send out a special congratulations, different sport, but the Milwaukee Bucks have collected their first NBA championship since the days of Lou Alcindor, so it's been a while for Milwaukee. This one skied up. Sorelli's going to run over into foul ground. The crowd's going to move and get out of his way as he's able to put that one away, throw it back to the middle of the diamond, and the long nightmare inning has finally come to an end. 7 come across in the top of the 5th as the Miners were on the other side of the floodgates. Now they have a long battle ahead of them. It's going to have to become a pass the baton mentality. Can't focus on your own at-bat. Just need to try and get on and keep it going, as they have a long, long road ahead of them. Be sure to stay tuned so you don't miss any of it, as we'll be right back here at Hermon Brothers Field in just a short bit. So the Miners come back in the bottom of the fifth looking for a huge response after a disaster inning. Patrick Donovan be the first Miner at the plate. Miners haven't been bad in this one by any means. 5 hits so far, and they're just coming to the plate for their 5th inning of work. But their opponents have been on their A game so far. It's going to take a really great effort from the Miners as Patrick Donovan's trying to get them all back in one swing. 1-2 count. Bengard's still on the mound. No reason he shouldn't be the way he's been dealing so far. Donovan from Chandler Gilbert Community College out in Arizona, a similar area to where Skipper Tyler LeBrun coaches high school, so he was able to get some inside intel on Donovan, liked him enough to put him in the starting lineup. But right there, flies out to center. Not the kind of jump start they were hoping for in this inning. Now it's going to fall to David Bermudez to try and ignite some kind of rally. Down a 9 early can be tough for a team's morale. 1 or 2 big plays can start making everybody else believe this game is attainable. But they're going to need some help first. Another pitch gets away, make it 2-0 now. And Bengard's going to get a brief talk from Pinales, who's pretty undersized for catchers we've seen throughout the league. You look at guys like Keel, even Rando, who have a pretty good frame behind them. Pinales is fairly short, not the bulkiest guy you'll see, but has the reflexes to frame the zone well. On the other side, Bermudez, one of the strongest hitters for the Miners, has home run potential as he's already shown this year, but he likes to get those line drives sprayed across the field. Tries to do that just here as this one's going to fly into left field, and it's going to be an easy out. That time Jack Mactoff once again. Miners 2 up, 2 down so far. Looking for some air, and they're going to look to Holden Breeze to try and create the first hit here in the 5th. Holden Breeze 0 for 2 so far on the line. With a high swing like that, he's also trying to earn back every run he can by himself. Can only go 1 at a time right now, though. As Pinales was adjusting his shoe, and that's going to cause him to reset. No pitch, no swing. Still a 0-1 count, and make that not 0-2. Instead, it's going to force Ostrander to run over, where he'll be met by Carson Rocafort. 3 quick outs for the Miners. Not a whole lot happening here in the bottom of the 5th after a landslide in the top of the 5th. Miners going to be heading back out into the field after a quiet bottom of the 5th, and they're going to remain with lefty Lance Santerre. So they have faith in him after the tough handoff. We'll see what he's able to do when he's the one in control from the start of the inning. When we come back to Hermon Brothers Field, be sure you don't go anywhere. Stepping into the box as we get ready to begin the 6th inning is going to be Carson Rocafort. Rocafort has already had an impressive day so far with 2 extra base hits to go along with a sac fly. So, no wasted bats in this one so far from Rocafort. Santerre gets him to think about it, but still not going to swing, able to check himself before he crosses the plate. This one is turned on, sent high. It's going to be a bit of a moonshot, and it's going to be Santerre himself. Calls off all of the other fielders, even catcher Kevin Nakamura, who's come in for Tyler Rando. But there's our first out, and already off to a much better start. Another strike, Santerre is looking to make it a 1-2-3 inning for the Miners as well. This one, a line drive down the third base line, and that's going to be enough for 1 at least, but he's going to keep going for 2, and Holden Breeze, the throw just pulls him off the bag. Another extra base hit here as the Bucs are explosive. That'll be 4 hits in the game for Jake Skipworth, 3 singles and a double now. And another batter right behind him, Xavier Pinales, also perfect on his line so far. 3 singles, no outs. In his 4th at-bat now, will he be able to keep that perfect day going? A big swing creates enough contact that he fouls it off. But Skipworth is going to have nowhere to go at second. We want to thank a official sponsor of Matsu Miners Travel. The Matsu Miners want to thank Alaska Airlines for bringing all of the players, broadcasters, and everyone else up here. We wouldn't be able to be here without them. So Santerre, an out and a hit so far, the first 2 batters here in the 6th. He's going to look to make it a quiet inning, one of only 2 so far, where the Bucs haven't scored. Pinales at the plate. Skipworth at second, and Kyson Donahue in the on-deck circle. This one also turned down the third base line, but foul. Santerre looking at a 2-2. And this one also going to be shot into right field, but going to be brought in this time by Holden Breeze. After the error in the last inning, likely Breeze wanted to personally put that one away. Which is going to bring up Kyson Donahue next. Donahue is going to look to be the third and likely last out should Santerre get things to go his way. The Wildcat from Arizona has walked so far, but unable to put anything to play with his bat. Donahue again. Looking to make what's already been a long day for Lance Santerre even longer, as he's going to line this one down, and it is going to just fall foul. And I mean just. If you put that ball a foot to the left, that could have been another run coming across. Instead, it's going to be Donahue's first strike on a foul ball. Donahue, not satisfied with the day he's had so far. But another walk could definitely help even out that balance. The Bucs, should they win here today, would collect their 14th of the season and slowly inch them closer to contention with the Glacier Pilots. This one going to be right down towards Sorelli at first, and the big man's going to put it away himself for an unassisted third out. Miners able to escape this inning with no runs coming across despite the double from Jake Skipworth. And now they have to get back to the drawing board when it comes to creating their own offense. So far, held out of the scoring column since the second inning. Down 9 here. They're going to need some big help from everyone throughout the lineup. 2, 3, and 4 coming up next for the Miners in their lineup, so be sure to stick around. You don't want to miss the big bats of the middle of the lineup, so be sure to stay right here. So we get ready for the bottom of the 6th, and Spencer Bengard turns in his day. Had 5 innings so far, only allowed 2 runs, and a pretty effective strikeout clip. Instead, he's going to hand it over to another Gonzaga pitcher as Jacob Rutherford takes the mound. The Post Falls, Idaho pitcher is going to be looking to work out of the bullpen for the Bucs. And the first one he's going to face is going to be left-hander Tyler Wilson. It's a pretty favorable call to start his night, so Tyler Wilson already in an 0-1 hole. Rutherford has experienced some of his own problems on the mound this year. 13 innings pitched, how about 22 hits, nearly 2 an inning, as other teams seem to see him very well. Also turned in 14 runs from those 22 hits, so not wasting a whole lot of men. See if he's able to turn in a solid performance here, or if he could help the Miners get back in this one. Another pitch inside means ball 3. Tyler Wilson with a chance to get on via the walk. Someone Nick Sorelli in the on-deck circle knows plenty about, still leading the ABL with 25 walks. But now we're going to see if Wilson can draw his own walk here. Already has 2 singles on the game. A walk here could get his offense started. But that one's going to be strike 2 right down Main Street. Wilson thought he could take it looking. And Rutherford gives him another gift right down the middle. Wilson couldn't lay off, but lifts this one into the sky, and Hayden's there for an easy fly out to the shortstop. Not the result he would have hoped for in a 3-1 lead, but now we have one away in the bottom of the 6th. Nick Sorelli, the next man to come up for the Miners. Sorelli had a lot of solo success on the season so far. Not as much here today on 0-2 line. He's going to continue attacking high, but this time he's going to go for a ball. Another one getting away, so make it ball 2. Miners need some kind of traction here, looking for any kind of advantage they have in an 11-2 ball game. Another pitch gets away. No chance to frame it for a strike. Miners haven't had a runner on since Rother was able to get on via his own single back in the 4th. They're not going to get another one here. This one going for a strike, so he's going to have to keep waiting on that last ball if he wants to get on with the walk. Instead, can't wait for another pitch, turns this one around for a foul ball. Another foul ball, and we're going to be going for an extended battle here. Still a full count for these two, as Sorelli and Rutherford are going to continue to try and outdo each other. And this one is going to be ball 4, so Sorelli finally gets the walk he was looking for after fending off for 3 straight pitches, and that'll bring up Casey Rother. Rother got a single in his last at-bat, so evening him up for 1-2 on the day. All it starts with is one big hit to pass it on to the other. Rother could be looking to wake up a sleeping giant, as everyone knows how dangerous this Miners offense can be late in games. Also getting a lot colder here at Hermon Brothers. Still moderately nice out, but you see the jackets being broke out amongst the crowd. So time to start layering up, as there's still no real sun overhead. A 1-1 pitch to Casey Rother. Sorelli standing at first, They move him to second. We may see a pinch runner, but they might not want to waste his offense. Another big swing from Casey Rother there. Couldn't lay off of anything low. Rother waiting on the next pitch. And this one's going to be high, and it's going to get away, so Sorelli's going to have an easy way to get to second on that wild pitch. Nice patience on that one. Rother in a 2-2. With a runner in scoring position now, they could really start to chip away at that deficit. In the on-deck circle is also Kevin Nakamura. After coming in for Tyler Rando to help Lance Santerre behind the plate, he's going to get his own swing. This is another weak foul ball. This one headed towards the Miners clubhouse. Rother, far and away, been the best power hitter on this team. 10 doubles so far on the season to go with 2 home runs. Extra base hits are not something that he's hard to come by, but going to be frustrated and spike the bat this time, as that's going to be an easy fly out. Not going to do much to advance the runner there. Nakamura already in an 0-2. And that one's going to bounce off him again, so Sorelli's going to get to third. And thought about advancing to home, as that ball really ricocheted off of Pinales, but was held off by Casey Sherman at third. Obviously, the Miners need to be aggressive, and they want a chance to work their way back into this game, whatever means they can, but risking an out at home plate there was not what they had in mind. Instead, they're going to rely on Kevin Nakamura to bring home Sorelli from third. And Nakamura is going to swing and miss on that one. A tough strikeout. The Miners leave one on, and that is going to be another scoreless inning for the Miners. Can't seem to find their footing when it comes to the offensive side. This team, all they can do at the moment is keep the lead to what it is. They're going to be heading back to the field, and we'll see if Santerre gets another chance, but we may be seeing another substitution. You're going to have to stay tuned here on our stream to see what comes next and who may be pitching for the Miners as we get ready to head into the 7th. Stepping up to the plate now is going to be Garrett Ostrander, who immediately turns this one to Casey Rother in the hot corner. Nice play from Sorelli to stretch and make the grab for the first out. Barely got time to sit down in your seat as we get ready for the 7th, and we already have our first out. That's going to be a 6-3 ground out for Ostrander as the Miners hand it over to a new arm. James Aaron, the Wasilla native, is going to get another chance for some action here. He's pitched relatively well throughout the season for the Miners, but this one going to get down. Another hit. Make it number 15 at 15 hits to 11 runs.
Stepping to the plate, left fielder, 24, Jack Macdoff.
I'll bring it back. Jack Mactoff. Mactoff, a 1-for-4 day, isn't nearly as glamorous as plenty of the other teammates in this one, but still a chance to add on to that here. Mactoff, of course, had 2 RBIs on his last single. This time it's going to take a perfectly placed single to bring home Woody Haydeen from first, despite all the speed he has. Try to get him with a breaking ball there, but it's going to stop a few inches in front of the plate. Just spit on by Mactoff. 2-1 now. And he's going to be going for second. Another throw wide of the plate is going to give another stolen base to Woody Haydeen. So they continue to be aggressive, and the Miners have had no real response. Still no runners thrown out in this game. They had one close one at second, but haven't been able to record a clean out. Still been able to advance unannounced on the bases. And that's going to be enough for Kevin Nakamura to go out and greet James Aaron still. They really decided to give up the offense of Tyler Rando for Nakamura's catching ability, as he's a lot more comfortable with Aaron and Santerre so far. Aaron in a 3-1 count wants to avoid walking a runner here. But that's exactly what he'll do. This one on the hands. Tight zone for a front door attack. It's going to give him ball 4. 3 batters have come. 2 have come on. Now Cole Moore heading back to the plate after what has been a perfect day so far. 3 for 3 and a walk. Can't have much better day so far. He'll just be looking to add on to it. And Moore is going to lay off on the first pitch. That back foot slider really meant nothing to him. Aaron can't seem to get a pitch that they'll offer at right now, as this one's cracked backwards, tattooed into center field, and Patrick Donovan's going to have to shuffle over to get it. Throw to third. Not going to be in time or on spot. So runners at the corners again on that fly out to center field.
2 away, striding to the plate, third baseman, number 38, Diego Vaquero.
And now it's going to come down to Diego Vaquero at the plate. So far, Vaquero is the only one of the Bucs to not get on in any of his 4 at-bats before this one. Every other Buck had managed to get on at least once. Vaquero, an 0 for 4. And starts to go around there, so the breaking ball finds a victim in Diego Vaquero. Another one turned on and threw into the gap. Another single, and the game is still going. Just when you think that you'll be able to escape an inning, this Bucs team strikes again for their 16th hit of the ballgame. In case you forgot as well, that was good enough to bring home Woody Hayden. So our score now sits 12-2. They've taken a 10-run lead over Mat-Su Miners. It's the most runs the Miners have allowed all season. After their pitching has been lights out recently, keeping their opponents to around 3 or less. Carson Rocafort back in with a chance to do even more damage. Already has 2 doubles, followed a pattern of double out, double out. His pattern should put him back on with another base hit. We'll see if he continues to stay true to his pattern. Swings at that one, a big strike 2. Now Aaron has every tool at his disposal. If he wants to go back to the breaking ball or fastball. We've seen a few breaking pitches, so wouldn't be surprised to see him reel one back. Tried to do just that. Tried to paint the corner. Instead, it's going to be ball 2. Plate umpire really making them work. Unless it's a swinging strike, the zone has been pretty minimal. This one bounced around. Aaron able to get over to first, so able to escape that one. Only on 1 run. Miners do allow 1 more to come across on 2 hits and a walk in the inning. They are now facing a 10-run deficit, the largest that the Miners have seen this season. But they're not going to count themselves out just yet. The rally in the valley still tries to hold on to hope as we get ready to head into the bottom of the 7th. We'll be right back with more Miner action as they get ready to head to the plate in the bottom of the 7th. We head into the bottom of the 7th, time running out as the Miners are looking to rally a late comeback here. Final 3 innings of play, and the Miners need to make up a lot of room. They're going to try and start that with Aaron Walters at the plate first. Walters, of course, drove in one of their 2 RBIs in the game. He's going to be looking to jumpstart an offense that's been dormant for the past couple innings. Walters takes back-to-back strikes looking, so right now Rutherford well ahead in the count. Doesn't need to put a good pitch in the zone. Walter is able to turn on this one, sending it further back, but Ostrander was able to stay in front of it for the first out.
Stepping to the plate next for the Miners, number 18, designated hitter.
It's going to go on to Sam Thompson, the designated hitter in this one. So far, a sac hit to advance a runner and a weak line drive to second base. So sending it to both sides of the field. Is going to be looking for something to put himself on this time. Nearly had it there. Fastball right down the middle. Not going to get many of those in each at bat. And this time far low and away. These Miners have had a solid trend that whenever they get into a two-strike count, they become some of the greatest takes that you could. They teach a lot of patience to their hitters. When a staff has 3 partial hitting coaches, you're bound to start putting together some clean at-bats and extending the stay of the pitcher on the mound. Started to go. Here's the appeal. They're going to say that was enough. Went around enough to call him for strikeout number 2. And now Sam Thompson is going to be sat down swinging. Sat down checking, I should say. So 2 up and 2 away for the Miners. It's going to come down to center fielder Patrick Donovan to avoid a 1-2-3 inning. As that one's called up for strike number 1. So working the opposite batter's box has seemed to be the trick so far for Jacob Rutherford in this. This time it's just going to pinball a bit, bouncing off of not only the catcher, but far and away back towards the Miners' dugout. Donovan still 0 for 2 in this one. 1 hit in the ABL so far this year, as he's just able to foul that one away. Donovan, an extremely tall and agile frame, so you'd expect a lot of swing, or a lot of speed in that swing. Donovan able to get under this one, but only finds a piece of it. Now, it could be a payoff pitch, and another one turned on. This one heading into right field, but Rocafort just happened to be in the right spot. Beautiful prediction that time by him, and Miners go 1-2-3. So, light starting to dim right now. Team going to be headed back to the mound and going to be looking to try and hold them out of the scoring column for only the 3rd time today. Miners trailing still 12-2, and that looks like they're going to call ball game on that. A 10-run mercy rule here in the 7th inning. So there will be no more action. That was the Miners' last chance in this one to start getting something going, and that 1-2 inning sealed their fate. So the Miners dropped their first game at Hermon Brothers in over a month, and their first game in the past 8 games. In a pretty tough fashion, a 10-run mercy rule. Final score sits at 12-2. So the Miners, a tough loss here. They'll be back in action tomorrow against the Piedmont Pride. Those non-league games seem to come at the perfect time for the Miners to revamp themselves. They're going to get another chance to do so here, as their record improves to 23-9. On the other side, the Bucs 14-21. And the Bucs will also be in action tomorrow as they head home to host Chugiak. So plenty more ABL action ahead, and we will be back tomorrow with another game with the Miners host the Piedmont Pride baseball team. Reese will be on the call. I'll be doing PA for that game, so be sure to tune back in, and thank you so much for joining me this time.